everyone. Welcome to the second Bank Marketing School information session. My name is Lauren Schlenker. I'm with the American Bankers Association, and I am the program manager on the Bank Marketing School. We really appreciate you all taking the time today to spend with us, and we're looking forward to providing you with some more information around Bank Marketing School. So if you joined the first information session a few weeks ago, we did a high-level overview of the school, and you can watch that recording on aba.com in case you missed it. But this session is going to focus more on a deeper dive into the curriculum, and you'll get to hear from multiple of the faculty members who teach at the school, and some of our advisory board members as well. So we'll also record this session today and post it on the website afterwards. So if you need to go back and review it, it'll be up there in the next couple of days. So ABA is committed to providing you all with top-notch professional development opportunities for the banking industry. And the Bank Marketing School delivers on that. We like to say that our programs are developed by bankers for bankers. And the Bank Marketing School was developed by an amazing advisory board that is comprised of your Bank Marketing School peers who understand the daily challenges that you go through and what it takes to be successful in bank marketing. So to go over what today's agenda is going to look like, I'm going to start off with an introduction of our speakers today, and then I'll provide you all with a high-level overview of the school and some key dates to remember. Then our advisory board chair will walk you all through the course pre-work and schedule. You'll hear from 3 of our amazing faculty members who will provide some more in-depth information around their sessions at the school. And then we'll wrap up with hearing from 2 of our advisory board members about their experience at the school and getting some real examples of how you can implement what you learn at Bank Marketing School back at your banks. We'll also leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end, but I do encourage you to put any questions that you have throughout today's session in the chat, and we'll have an ABA staff who's monitoring that. So we'll be able to answer your questions throughout the session today. So with that, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our advisory board members who are going to be speaking today. So first we have Liz Nagy, who is our advisory board chair. She is the vice president, director of sales and marketing and digital banking at the Honesdale National Bank. We have Lance Kessler. He is a faculty member and advisory board member. He is the president of Lance Kessler and Associates, and he teaches the marketing planning and effective marketing leadership courses. Then we have John Hanley. He is also a faculty member and advisory board member, EVP, Chief Experience Officer at Idaho First Bank, and he teaches the Marketing AI course. And then Teresa Wendhausen, faculty member and advisory board member, and she's the Vice President, Director of Marketing at First National Bank and Trust Company, and she teaches the PR Communications course. Then we have Tim Gerard. He is a 2024 graduate, as well as our student representative this year on the advisory board. And he is the Marketing Research and Analytics Officer at Bay Coast Bank. Mickey Bell Shields Manley. She's a 2023 graduate and advisory board member, and she's the Assistant Vice President, Director of Marketing at CS Bank. And then at ABA, we have myself, Lauren. I oversee the Bank Marketing School and Bank Marketing Conference, as well as my colleague, John Capitosto, who's our Vice President of Programs, and Mark Greenhaw, who's the Senior Director of Marketing Strategy. Okay, so a few things I'd like to go ahead and start off with running through some key items that you need to know. So first, the school is going to take place from April 26th to May 2nd at the Emory Conference Center Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. This year, the school is entirely in person, with the exception of some pre-work and videos that you will be instructed to watch ahead of arriving on site. The school registration deadline and hotel reservation deadline are both on April 7th. But I strongly encourage you to register and make your reservations ahead of that date. All classes, meals, events, everything that has to do with the Bank Marketing School happens at the Emory Conference Center Hotel, including sleeping there. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a reservation ahead of that April 7th deadline to ensure that you have a room to stay at the hotel. So if you're still working on convincing your manager to attend the school, you can always go ahead and make a hotel reservation and cancel if you need to. Hopefully you won't need to. And then Speaking of justification, I also am going to drop a link to the justification kit that's on the ABA website, and that provides more details and information that you can include as you make the ask to attend the school. We've also recently updated our justification kit, so it now has a infographic with a great overview of the school that you can download and use when you present your case to your supervisor on why you should attend. We also just recently added this week the updated course catalog to the website. So you're able to go to aba.com, download the course catalog, and there you'll be able to find all of the course descriptions and course objectives for each of the sessions at the school. So you may also be asking yourself, who should attend bank marketing school? Is this right for me? So if you're eager to learn more and seek a springboard for career and leadership advancement, if you're driven to learn marketing's role in revenue generation, and you have a base of financial marketing experience, then the school is for you. So if you want to learn more about if the school is right for you and you're not quite sure, please feel free to reach out to myself or one of our other advisory board members who are on the call today, and we would be happy to talk through that with you. Liz or any of the other board members who are on the call, I don't know if there's anything you want to add to this part about qualifications to attend the school or anything.
Just so we can't wait for you to join us.
Yes. All right, awesome. So with that, I'd like to go ahead and pass things off to our Bank Marketing School Advisory Board Chair, Liz.
Thanks so much, Lauren, and hi, everybody. I cannot express how excited I am to be speaking with all of you today. I'm advisory board chair, and that's a role that is really near and dear to my heart for so many reasons, because first and foremost, I'm a 2015 grad of bank marketing school, and I received my CFMP directly following that. And I am continuously grateful for the role it played in my career development, and I know you are going to feel the same. As I tell you that my enrollment in BMS remains by far one of the most influential decisions in my banking career, I am not exaggerating by any stretch of imagination. I cannot stress enough that this isn't a singular experience. Bank marketing school and the network of resources that come with it are an evergreen toolbox for growth and application. This is a defining opportunity that will pay dividends throughout your career. So on screen, and Lauren's going to kind of walk you through this with us, you will see a snapshot of our course schedule. That is nothing short of a roadmap of opportunity, and I really mean that. The courses have been built to ensure that you are gaining the fundamental concepts that enable your ability to manage your role and your resources effectively, be an active contributor to executive leadership and bank strategies, and most importantly, they're going to set you on a path to facilitate and respond to the continuously changing industry landscape. Every aspect of ABA BMS is immersive, it's timely, it's relevant, and as such, each year we work to make sure that the curriculum has been refined, and it's all done by our industry-leading faculty and our advisory board. And kudos to them. Each of these courses is a building block, enabling you to cement that knowledge and invigorate your interest in their application. For those that participated in our last session and those that are just joining for the first time, you are both going to get visibility to some great detail today as we go into that deep dive on some of the courses. So to maximize your time and participation at BMS, your experience is going to begin with a few digital primers. A virtual orientation on April 14th is going to get you acquainted with some of our classmates and provide you with all that you need to know in advance of your arrival in Atlanta. And between the orientation and arrival, we ask for your participation in 3 pre-recorded courses. So not too much, but definitely something you want to take advantage of. This coursework establishes many of the concepts that will serve as a guidepost throughout the school and set you on the new trajectory that we know you're interested in going on. The pre-coursework is a building block. It's going to help cement that knowledge. So I truly want to cement that idea that you really need to participate in these courses. I encourage you to work with your bank to ensure that you are out of the office and focused on being active participants in the school experience during class time. So out of office is a must. It's a tall order, but I assure you that you will be focused on the use cases for your financial institution and that professional growth that we're all after. So it's time extremely well spent. As you review the course schedule, know that the focus areas and content were carefully curated and selected by our subject matter experts, CFMPs and bank marketing peers, just like Lauren said earlier. The concepts were refined to make the subjects digestible and, most importantly, actionable. These aren't lectures. This is a school built by bank marketers for bank marketers. It's an interactive learning environment with hands-on experience that thrives on ideation, outcomes, and will send you home with career-building confidence that will be able to be put back into practice on day one. And you're going to hear more about that later. So when we think about all of these things, and you're going to hear from Lance, Teresa, and John on their course areas, I want to highlight a few tangible takeaways that you will gain from the school. These high-level strategies are going to ground you with tangible approaches for you to structure your marketing plan and execute measurable performance growth. These classes give you the backbone to understand your bank's balance sheet, derive profit-building campaigns based on data and metrics that are of greatest importance to your executive leadership teams. This will give you the confidence to map marketing plans that have collective buy-in. Simply, we are going to give you the tools to make your voice heard and that you can ensure you're allocating the resources and taking that driver's seat, and you're not the order taker. Key concepts regarding data and analytics and bank profitability are a staple of the school. Our ROI sessions exceptionally demonstrate how to measure return on your marketing efforts and elevate the methodologies used to deliver on the metrics most important to you and your CEO. And what methodologies may those be? They are not only understanding and effectively communicating with your key stakeholders, but so much more. Our faculty illustrate the opportunities and potential that surround embracing marketing to multicultural consumers, yielding you and your bank insights that will diversify your strategies for customer relationship success. And how about showcasing that your bank's brand is an asset? We all know it, right? Our new brand intelligence course will illuminate how brand permeates all aspects of the marketing function and your institution's growth. And as marketers, we know that brand voice translates into content. BMS will provide strong frameworks to guide creation and deployment of content to satisfy your target audience's interests and the preferred channels. On the flip side of that, regulatory and risk management come with the territory with bank marketing. Believe me when I say you will be enthralled as we guide you on how to assess and manage risk and advocate for marketing strategies that will keep you and your bank on the straight and narrow. We want you to forge partnerships with your compliance officers rather than remain enemies of the state. Creating those bridges and partnerships, not silos, is a critical element of bank leadership. And on that note, there is no one more qualified to speak to bank marketing and leadership than our advisory board and faculty member, the one and only marketing planning guru, Lance Kessler. So Lance, do you want to take it away?
Thank you, Liz. Yes, I appreciate your nice introduction. My name's Lance Kessler, and I want to say I'm very happy that you all joined us today. I want to say that Bank Marketing School, without a doubt, is the highlight of my year. I find it's just very invigorating. You meet such great people, and for you, you're in a room with other bank marketers who are facing the same challenges as you're facing. So first of all, the discussions are great. The networking opportunity at the school and after is unbelievable. What I love, one of the things I really love about Bank Marketing School, it's a place where you can discuss nitty-gritty marketing issues with people who want to discuss nitty-gritty marketing issues. That makes it a lot of fun and also very stimulating and interesting. What I want to do is just give you a brief overview of the marketing planning course, talk about how it relates to the case study and the rest of the program. First of all, prior to coming to the school, you do receive a marketing planning case study that you're asked to read before arriving, so that when we begin the class and the whole program, you're already familiar with the case study. All of it's interconnected. The marketing planning class really provides you with a structured framework for building marketing plans that are focused on revenue generation opportunities in the marketplace. They're very focused marketing plans for generating revenue. One of the things you'll hear me say in class is marketing plans should never be built in a vacuum. And what I mean by that is, if you don't have all the necessary things in place in your organization before you begin marketing planning, your marketing plan is not going to reach its potential in terms of success. And what I have up here is the path to superior execution. And when I say you need to have all the appropriate things in place before you do marketing planning, these are the types of things I'm talking about. And this path to superior execution is actually what the whole marketing planning course is structured around. It's the framework. You'll notice the first part of the framework is the changing environment. Lauren, would you take me to the next slide? The thing we do the first morning is we really look at key industry issues and trends. And we have an interactive activity that really generates a lot of discussion around topics like you see up here. Performance in the industry, which has a bearing on obviously your bank and the things you're doing. Different banking preferences and needs of different types of customers. Digital versus branch, or how do they integrate? Technology, whether it's AI, digital, and how does that relate to the human factor or human engagement? Data. Personalization becoming an increasingly critical issue for everybody out there in terms of what you're trying to do in your organizations. Employee engagement. If you don't have engaged employees, pretty much everything you talk about is a moot point. So these are just some examples of the kind of topics we discussed the first morning that you get there. Lauren, do you mind going to the next slide? Now, what we do in developing strategy is we look through a customer-centric lens that week. In other words, we look at things from a customer-centric standpoint. In the strategy section, we look at, are you involved in your organization's development of its strategic direction? If not, you really should be, and we talk about what things that can be done to make sure that happens. We walk through a model of how to develop a competitive strategy that defines your organization's competitive advantage. So when you go back to the bank, you'll really have a step-by-step approach on how to develop a well thought out, written competitive strategy. And when we talk about building structure, we talk about things like a five-step participatory marketing planning process. We look at market segmentation pretty much in depth, so that if we're really going to do focused marketing plans, then we need to understand where the greatest opportunity is, know how to gain insight into who the people are in those segments that have the greatest opportunity, and how to develop personas so that not only the marketing people understand who the target markets are, but the customer contact people understand who the high priority customers are. And then in the challenges execution, what we do there is when I introduce the marketing planning process, we introduce the five-step participatory process and how to build a structured marketing plan at the organization-wide level. Then when we get into this latter part of the process, and which relates to the challenges execution, we talk about how do you take that marketing plan and bring it down to the local market level, so that we truly make sure that where the rubber meets the road, the customer contact people, it gets executed the way it was intended. As we go through, one other thing, also in the challenges execution, we look at measurement, what kind of measurements should be in place. And we look at accountability and the role that plays. Okay, Lauren, if you would go to the next one, thank you. Now, as you go through the other courses, we've laid the groundwork in the marketing planning course in terms of building a marketing plan. But now what we want you to get as much content, ideas for content, as you go through the week. great courses, great instructors. ROI, what kind of measurements are you going to use? We look at sales and marketing alignment, making sure we're factoring that in our marketing plan, marketing AI. In other words, you're going to get a lot of courses that provide you with a lot of content. If you take that content you gain during that week, combine it with your knowledge and your experience, you're ready to build a marketing plan. And Thursday afternoon, you'll notice on here from 1 to 5, you get into breakout groups. And in the breakout groups, we identify one facilitator or leader of each breakout group who really leads the group through a structured marketing plan, building a structured marketing plan. Students love this. It's fun stuff. They really jump into it. It's a very collaborative within each breakout group. And then on Friday morning, each breakout group presents their marketing plan to the total class. It's a lot of fun, but it's also a great educational experience. Students really find it, we've gotten great feedback on it, and the experience they found to be very, very valuable. Then what we do after the presentations that last day is we wrap everything together with a course on effective marketing leadership, and really what it is you need to be doing at the bank to be able to get a seat at the executive table. What it is you can focus on to make sure that the leadership you're providing, not just to the marketing team, but to the whole organization, is as impactful as possible. Thank you for giving me the time to kind of give you an overview of some of the course content. And now I'd like to turn it over to Teresa.
Hey, everyone. I'm Teresa Wendhausen. I'm Vice President, Director of Marketing here at First National Bank and Trust in Beloit, Wisconsin. And I am thrilled to be part of the faculty at the ABA Bank Marketing School. I teach the PR and Communications course. And I just want to take a few minutes to share how this course connects to everything that you're going to learn throughout the program. As we all know, marketing and banking is more than just advertising and promotions. We wear a lot of hats, right? It's really about building trust, protecting your bank's reputation, and telling a compelling story that resonates with your customers, your employees, and your stakeholders. And that's really where public relations and communications come in. Throughout the week, you will develop a strategic marketing plan, as Lance was just talking about here. But having a great plan isn't enough. It has to be communicated effectively, both internally and externally, to gain that buy-in and drive results. You'll also explore branding and positioning throughout the week, and public relations is a critical component in reinforcing your brand promise throughout media relations, thought leadership, and community engagement. Customer experience and digital marketing will also be major areas of focus during the week, and PR and communications really ensures that the messaging remains consistent across every touch point, whether it's a press release, a social media post, or a customer email. And when it comes to crisis and risk management, the way your bank responds publicly can make or break its reputation. So a strong communication strategy prepares you for those moments, and it helps you navigate challenges with confidence. Even in areas like data and analytics, public relations has a place. Reassuring everybody and measuring the effectiveness of your communication efforts helps refine messaging, prove your ROI, and demonstrate how PR and communication supports your overall business goals. So at the end of the day, great marketing isn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it, who you reach, and how it aligns with your bank's mission and objectives. PR and communication serves this thread as it ties everything together, ensuring that your bank's voice is clear, credible, and consistent. I am really excited to be a part of your journey, and I really look forward to meeting all of you and seeing you in Atlanta. So thank you for joining us today, and I'm going to turn it over to my friend, John Handling.
All right, thank you, Teresa. Thrilled to be here, thrilled to get a chance to talk to you guys about a little bit about our newest course within Bank Marketing School that I got the privilege to lead. So we'll cue this up and Lauren can hit play and I'll join you in a second. So as you guys saw, that isn't real. That isn't real life. That's artificial intelligence. That's AI, and that's just a peak brand video that I used in my role to create a website campaign, digital campaign, social campaign. It's part of a series of hundreds of video executions that we have out in social now for Peak Bank, which is a direct bank. I'm Executive Vice President, Chief Experience Officer for Idaho First Bank. Graduated bank marketing school with Liz in 2015. Lauren, you can advance. And it's love the chance to talk to you all about AI. Now, in your roles, many of you are probably using some sort of AI vendor embedded with decisioning software within your creative workflow. There's a multitude of options out there. Many of you, like me, have probably heard from your CEO, hey, how can we use AI to make our marketing better, or make our company better, or make our brand better? And you've heard that, you've taken that back to your teams, and there are many ways to do so. And I think one thing you'll get out of our course is learning how to put that stuff in practice. Now, the way AI generation inside banks and inside marketing teams often starts is with the fun stuff. And that's certainly, I'm no exception. So if you look at the next slide, you'll see an example of an AI image. That's me. I forgot to tell ChatGPT that I'm in my 40s, but that's me going to a Pearl Jam concert, which is coincidentally that last week of April at the same time as bank marketing school. If you're on the fence and you like grunge music, you could join me for a concert maybe. But that's an image that is created, and that's one of the fun ways that you guys have used AI, or that marketers have used AI. And that's what commercial lenders, compliance officers, traditional bank leaders think, right? They think marketing's fun. But the reality is you're going to be able to use AI in your role for much more than just silly photos. And that's one of the ways we concentrate our course. And we'll go to the next slide here and kind of finish up. So our goal with AI in Action, which is our artificial intelligence course here, is to work with one another to use AI. You're going to get demystification of AI. We're going to go through some of the tools that are out there for you to use. Many of you are using ChatGPT. Some of you may be using Sora. Some of you using DALL-E. Like we talked about, there's hundreds and thousands of those out there. And it's all about how to supercharge your roles. And if you're in a small bank like me, which a lot of you are, you'll end up with the chance to use AI as kind of your back and forth assistant to talk through challenges like target market analysis, ROI, deposit pricing. It can be a great member of your team to do so. Last thing about the AI course that I'm super excited about, it is on the Wednesday of that week, and you get a chance to use AI with a team to build a full-fledged marketing campaign. And we'll do that in real time. We'll have some fun with it. It may be even be something you get to take back to your org and work with. So that's just a preview into our Gen AI course. Look forward to joining many of you this spring in Atlanta. Look forward to 2 Pearl Jam shows. But even more, I look forward to sharing the stage with several of the folks you heard today, and welcoming many of you to our bank marketing kind of peer group. It's really fun, and it helps you navigate challenges like AI, like bank marketing, and like the future. With that, I'm in the chat if you have any questions for me, but I'm going to turn the presentation over to Mickey Bell Shields Manley. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John. First off, thank you guys all so much for being on today's call. Like I said in the last call, if you guys were on that info session, this is the first step in the right direction to propelling your career in bank marketing to the next level. And so it's my greatest honor to be able to talk to you guys today about the top 5 reasons to attend, or to send somebody from your team to attend. To give you guys a little bit of background, like Lauren said earlier, I attended in 2023. And really was looking for that next step. I had attended Bank Marketing Conference, loved it. It was an absolutely premier conference. And I was looking for something more. I was wanting to know, what can I do to build that foundational knowledge to, propel not only myself, but more importantly, my bank, to be able to play with some of those big players out there in the industry. And upon further research, founded the Bank Marketing School. And all I can say is, like Liz has talked about, like Lauren has talked about, like Teresa, Lance, and John have all talked about, Bank Marketing School is formed for you guys by bank marketers. So nobody knows what you guys go through better than you and better than us. And so truly, I don't know how many teams of one are out there on the call today, but you're looking at a team of one right here. And when I got to Bank Marketing School in April of 2023, I truly felt like I was in a safe place. All of a sudden, there was all these people there on campus that go through what I go through every single day and understand the industry challenges, and are excited to make a way in the industry like I was. So I will get right into it. First off is the focus that the Bank Marketing School does on profitability and ROI. So profitability and ROI are taught by two fabulous faculty members, Jeff Marsico and Joanne Marsili, and truly two of the most talented individuals I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. One thing that I think is so important to note is that I think sometimes as bank marketers, we're discounted as like the fun department, the arts and crafts, all of those stigmas that kind of gets placed on marketing. But we are revenue generators. We need to understand the balance sheet. We need to understand how what we does affects the bank as a whole and how the bank runs. And one of the things that I know my CEO respected so much about this school is the emphasis they put on the financials and the return. Marketing is not a cost center. Marketing, like I said, is a revenue generator. And through this school, you'll gain a better understanding of how to truly reiterate that to your team and get that seat at the table that marketing needs to have to make the bank run more smoothly as a whole. There's ALCO courses. We literally do a mock ALCO meeting. So there's so much to it. We go really in depth, and it really helps hone some of those skills for somebody that maybe doesn't have a background in it like I didn't. Second is that the courses that we cover in Bank Marketing School are the latest in the industry. Like John just talked about with AI, AI has not been around for, too terribly long, but this group of individuals, the faculty, the advisory board, the ABA as a whole, they value making sure that we are pumping out fresh content and fresh curriculum that will actually benefit America's banks. And so every single year, it might not be the same courses. It all depends on what the industry is doing. When Liz was going through, I don't think AI probably was one of the courses, but here we are today. And, brand intelligence that Amber Farley will teach was not a course that was taught when I went to school, but it's so important as an industry that we understand our brand and that we build a brand that represents us correctly. And so you'll see year over year that, we'll be touting different courses that we teach as the industry evolves. Gaining leadership skills is absolutely imperative, like Liz alluded to, with the sales and marketing alignment, like Lance's marketing leadership courses. Marketing has the seat of the table, and it's marketing's job to lead by example for the brand. And those leadership skills that you'll learn through the team exercises, through the marketing planning course, through the project presentation are truly invaluable. And you'll be able to bring that back to your bank and truly be able to, just kind of wow your coworkers. They'll see the transformation in you. I know that's how they felt with me. And they'll want to know what happened, what's different about you, what is it that was so special about Bank Marketing School that it completely changed the trajectory of your career. And then the last two is building your network and developing your competencies. So building your network, I think sometimes people undervalue the power of a powerful network and the ROI of a powerful network. I talked about this in the last info session. A lot of times you think about your college friends, and your college friends are the ones that you keep for life. And that is absolutely 100% true. But I think you could also argue that your bank marketing school friends are ones that you keep for life as well. I have an email and a text message group that is constantly being used every single day. Karen Party, who's on the call today, she and I text every single morning. And so I think one of the super special things about bank marketing school is regardless of what class you're in, Tim and I weren't in the same class. Teresa and I weren't in the same class. Liz and I weren't in the same class, but those are still some of my greatest friends. Bank marketing school alumni is bank marketing school alumni, and we're a family. And then lastly, developing your competencies. Like I said earlier, I am a team of one. So you, as a team of one, you kind of have your hands in a lot of different pots. And so you might have a very basic ground level understanding of different areas. Or you could be like Tim. Tim is very knowledgeable in the data analytics side of marketing, but maybe not as well versed in PR and communications. You're going to have people from all walks of life that come to bank marketing school. And through that and through the different courses, you're either going to build on your already strong knowledge, or you could even, get into a little bit more of a niche category that maybe you didn't prior to have a great knowledge about. So with all of that being said, I'm actually going to hand the call over to Tim, who's going to give you guys some real life impacts that he's made since his not even a year of graduating bank marketing school.
Thanks, Mickey Bell. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, Liz, Lauren, Lance, everybody that's spoken, Teresa, John. What an incredible group of people to be around all the time. I'm so honored to be speaking to you folks. If you were on the call, the last call we had, I spoke about, how jazzed I was when I came back from bank marketing school from the multicultural session that was taught by David Femi. Actually met with our DEI committee. We kind of went over some different stuff, and we've been doing a couple of different initiatives, where we're trying to get more outreach out there and get more accounts and do different things. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about some other stuff. As you go to bank marketing school, you sit through all these classes, and through the different discussions you have, the different classes, you start brainstorming things that you're going to run back to work and start running with and start doing things. So one of the big things that has been a kind of a challenge for us here at Bay Coast Bank in Swansea is cross promotion of our different brands. We have several affiliates. We have an insurance company, we have a mortgage company, a wealth management and investment company. And then way off in right field, we have a manufactured and mobile home lender company. So, what it made me realize is, we have a sales and marketing alignment class, and Shelley Regan teaches that class and just does a fabulous job. And, as I started thinking about this when I returned, I had a great conversation with her, and I started to think about different ways the marketing team can get more involved in the sales process. A lot of the numbers out there, ROI on a cross-sell is 5 times better than new acquisition. Spending time, trying to gain new clients outside of your 4 walls, you might be spinning your wheels quite a bit. So what we've started to do is we had an initial meeting with, executive leadership and everybody across the organization to kind of understand where everybody stands, what you're all trying to accomplish. And then what I'm trying to do from a marketing perspective is have somebody from our marketing team. Now we have a marketing team of 7. I know Mickey Bell mentioned she has 1. We're more, we've kind of become more robust as we've grown. We've got a creative services team. We've got, digital marketing folks. I'm on the data and analytics side, but essentially what we're trying to do is, through all these different sales meetings that all the different affiliates have, is make sure we have some member of marketing attending those meetings, make it a point to be part of those meetings. And, that'll create seamless flow of information and collaboration between those departments. And then, by default, we'll create, increase customer acquisition and improve lead nurturing and everything else that comes along with it. So, it's kind of a work in process right now. It's something that we're working on and we're meeting regularly. But there's always different things that come up. John spoke about AI, and, we have folks in our teams using AI for different things. On the data side, I'm using it to kind of analyze reports. I know our creative team uses it almost as like a baseline to kind of get started. When you have tons of different stuff you're trying to get out the door. There's just so many use cases from everything you learn at bank marketing. So I just want to leave you with that, just come in with an open mind, speak to anyone you can. There's always somebody that's got some similar situation you're in, might have the same asset size. You might find a bank that's got a lot of the same affiliates or different things that you guys are working on. So just a ton of opportunity to learn and get as much out of it as you can. So I look forward to seeing all of you in Atlanta if possible, and should be a lot of fun and looking forward to it. So thank you very much. I'm going to hand it over to Lauren again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tim. And thank you to all of our speakers today, our faculty members and board members. We really hope that that was helpful for you and you've gotten an even better taste of what your bank marketing school experience could look like. So let's keep in touch. On the screen here, I have all of our contact information, our email addresses, and our LinkedIn profiles. So please connect with us, and after this call, if you think of another question that comes up, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or one of my colleagues at ABA or any of our board members who are on this call today. So please keep in touch with us. And then I'll leave that up for just a second in case anyone wants to take a picture or anything. And then lastly, registration is open now. So you can follow this QR code here, and this will take you directly to aba.com where you can go ahead and register. So if you're ready, please follow that QR code link, and it'll take you right to the registration page. But with that, I'd like to go ahead and open up the floor for Q&A. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat now, or you're welcome to come off of mute and ask your questions.
Lauren, Scott asked a question a little earlier in the presentation around any information that he might need to be prepared to come with that's specific to his own bank. He's fairly new to the banking industry, so if we could touch on that, I think that would be helpful. Yeah,
absolutely. So some of the courses will have some pre-work. So we have a student app, it's called Docebo, that you'll have access to. It's basically that's where you'll be able to access any of the preschool videos that you'll have to watch, as well as any of the courses that do have specific pre-course work. So a handful of the courses do have some work that you'll be required to bring on site. Our data and analytics course does have some pre-session work that you'll have to fill out, but you'll have a few weeks ahead of the school to be able to get access to all of that and know exactly what you need to bring from your bank to the school.
If I could jump in on that too, I would highly recommend bringing a copy of your bank's annual report. And if you have a chance ahead of time to sit down with your CFO or your controller and kind of talk through some of that, that would be very helpful to kind of put perspective when you go into the profitability courses and you're learning, what levers you're pulling to help, impact the balance sheet and the income statement. I think that would be very, very helpful for anybody listening.
Can you hear me? This is Stacy Clay from First Bank.
Yes.
Thank you for the presentation. Can you talk about the merits, the necessity of the exam?
Yes. So the CFMP, we are going to actually be doing a separate information session that's going to dive into the CFMP and all of the requirements, kind of what the exam entails. But I do have most of our board members are CFMPs who are on the call today. So if any of you want to kind of speak further into your CFMP experience right now, that'd be great.
Sure, Lauren. Hi, everybody. So to kind of speak to that, as Lauren mentioned, there's a variety of circumstances you can look at regarding the exam. So pending how long you've been in the industry or your familiarity with marketing, I really encourage you to make that an individualized decision as to when it's best for you to take the exam. I happened to take it immediately following my bank marketing school experience, and that was extremely beneficial for me because I was feeling extremely empowered. I was clued in on all of the learnings and key takeaways from the faculty, and I just felt really prepared to dive right into the content. The most wonderful thing that has been stressed not only throughout all of our presentations, but in the comment stream here as well, is the networking. So one of the glorious things that comes out of bank marketing school are study groups for the CFMP as well. So if you feel inclined to kind of work with others to ask questions and really get in a mode to like elevate yourself, I encourage you to take advantage of those study groups. But going back to all that as well, there is a book that is going to be kind of spoken to as well, that you can gain access to and study for the exam. The school is not a prerequisite for the CFMP. So they are two separate things, but definitely the school is a wonderful aid to the preparation for the exam. But go ahead, ask your question. Yeah.
I was gonna say, as I understood it, there's a bundle that
There is.
you can pay for the course and the conference and the exam. And embedded in that is their preparation for the course in that specific bundle.
So Lauren, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe the book is included in
It
that.
doesn't, the book that you're speaking of is not included, but it does include an exam prep.
It
It's
does
an
include
online
prep.
exam prep that gives you practice scenarios and practice questions and takes you through sort of a mock mini exam to kind of get you ready for the experience. But the book, you can, it's called Marketing for Financial Services, and you can check it out on aba.com. And
Okay.
Mark, can you drop a link to that?
yeah, I'm trying to find
Find
it.
If not, Stacy, I can connect with you also after the call and send you over a ton more information on it.
Okay. And you said there is an information session
Yes, so
specifically
we are in the
geared-
works of getting an information session scheduled that's going to focus solely on the CFMP. So
Okay.
that information will come out likely in the next couple weeks or so.
Okay.
I
Understood.
do highly encourage your participation in the bundle, though. If it's something that you're seriously considering, it's a wonderful way for you to really cement, I think, the trajectory for your career and the value for your organization.
I just dropped the link to the textbook that's been talked about into the chat.
Thank you.
Just to add to what Liz just said, I did purchase the bundle and I was a student last year and took the CFMP last June, and it was super helpful to have all of that information in advance and be able to use all the training materials that are available on ABA. And, you know, like everyone else has said, the network of people you have that you can talk to and ask questions about is invaluable. So just keep that in mind as well.
Thank you.
And Lauren, if you could go back to the page with all of our contact info and LinkedIn pages, somebody asked to see that again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There we go.
But I would like to stress too, I think there were a number of people that we've responded to that have shared how small of a team they are working with back at their financial institutions. And this really is a springboard for you. I think John said it very eloquently, that there is so much that you can garner from the school to help. I think you feel that you're not alone in your environments. There's peer groups for banks of all different shapes and sizes that participate at ABA. So not only will you get a feel for, I'll say, the struggles, the trials and tribulations, and also the successes of peers at your same size, you'll also get great visibility to all of the other banks that exist across the country and how they are operating things. So your realm of understanding will just, I think, you know, exponentially increase your thought processes and your interest in all the possibilities that exist in terms of what you are going to have capability to execute. So I think stepping into the bank marketing school environment is going to completely change the landscape for you. There's no going back. You're only going to see potential moving forward. And I can't stress that enough. This is a really career-changing experience for you, and it's going to be a massive change for your bank once you bring all that knowledge. And as Tim and Mickey Bell stress, like, you are going to be changing things by leaps and bounds in so many great ways. So right out of the gate. So I encourage you, leverage this list that you see on the screen here today. Reach out to us. We'd be happy to have one-on-one discussions. But that QR code is the more important piece as well. I encourage you to take advantage of registration. This is really once in a lifetime experience for your banking career. And who wouldn't want to be friends with all of us?
I mean, really.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Liz. Any other questions in the chat or any? Anything else? If not, again, please, like Liz said, don't hesitate to reach out to us if any questions come up. We're happy to help answer anything that you might be curious about the school, or if you're looking to hear a more individualized experience from anyone who was on this call and what their bank marketing school experience was
Actually,
like.
I
I'm happy to walk that with you.
Go right ahead.
I did have one more question related to the exam. So clearly you can take the school only. Is the bundle cheaper than taking the exam separate from the course?
Yes. So if you do the bundle, it is, I believe it's like $500 in savings. I would have to find out exactly the number, but it is cheaper
Okay.
to purchase the bundle altogether rather than the school and then the exam separately.
No smoke and mirrors here, Stacy.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right, awesome. Well, thank you all so much for attending today. We really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. And again, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any other questions, but hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Thank you.
Thank you.